What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? Okay, listen, very short show. Very, very, very short show today. But I did want to come up. I did want to give you guys something. So, Padres Dodgers this week, today, starting today. Let me double check to make sure that I get this correct about how many games they will be playing. A lot happening in the sports world, so I didn't want to walk away without giving y'all something. So, first of all, when it's Padres Dodgers around here, around here, a little 20, it's big. This big. Both sides, don't let them tell you nothing. It's big, okay? So, this is a little bit bigger than normal because it's a two-way tie for first place. I think it's a tie for first place. As always, let me check. I'm looking through it right now. Yep, nope. Dodgers in a half game ahead. So, Dodgers Padres tonight, 3-game series. Dodgers a half game ahead. Both teams coming off of sweeps, but I'm going to specifically talk about the Padres sweeping the Seattle Mariners, which was actually really impressive because I got some takes on that I want to hit. Second, we're going to talk about the MVP, which I found to be totally egregious. And we'll talk about the NBA playoffs. We got Wemby and the OKC Thunder coming up tonight. So that's the treat that we all been waiting for. So we'll finally get that. But as always, when I am live, if you want to be on the show, always the John Browner podcast at gmail.com, and continue to help us get to 300. We are close. I think we're over 350 by now. So those are the two things that we always tell people. Let's get to 300 subs on YouTube. So it's called the March for 300. Let me see what else we got here. Let me get this down. My mouse just died for a quick second. Everything is messed up around here. So, and also, the boy got a merch shop. So head over to the John Browner podcast shop and score something. Help out the show. Okay. Help out the show by purchasing a t-shirt or a sweater or some shorts if you're really about that life. More stuff will be popping up on there as we go along, as we continue to create. We will have things on there. I would have a display for y'all, but again, we're short on time today. So I'll put something out on Instagram to show y'all how to get to the shop. And plus, there's a link in the bio on Instagram. So if you go to Instagram, link in the bio, bang, you will find this show and how to subscribe. And you will also find the John Browner podcast shop where you can help the show out by buying something small. Now, let's get into business. I'm going to the dentist today, and I'm getting some teeth removed. So my teeth will still be the same, by the way, for all the people who were really worried about that on the internet. But some of them will be adjusted due to, pain. That's why the show is very short. That's why it's not at 10. Well, this will be at 10, but this is why it's pre-recorded and it's not live, just so anybody who cared or wanted to know. 2, Padres Dodgers, it's always very, very big around here. I don't know who's going to, emerge from the series. I thought the thing about the Padres so far this season that I have been most impressed with. By the way, shout out to Lucas Giolito. Great pickup so far. Held it down against the Mariners. He played very well, but he ended with a 5 ERA. Welcome to baseball, buddy, but he knows that. Y'all know that. Great outing by Lucas Giolito. Before that, great outing by Walker Buehler. 2 pickups during the season and before the season that people were questionable because how these guys on a scrap heap. You find them, you make something out of it, and now look at you. You got 2 pitchers giving you back-to-back solid performances heading into a very important series. Now, one thing I noticed about the Padres doing the Seattle series, and then it dawned on me as I was watching the game about how professional this team is. And I want to give someone kudos about something that I've been calling attention since the season started when we were on Kaplan and Crew. So shout out to my brothers. The body language of Fernando Tatis Jr. has been fantastic lately. I don't know. Again, I don't know these guys' personal lives. I really don't want to know because some of this stuff, like I said before, needs to remain private. But watching him be as excited for his teammates as he is excited for himself when he does positive things on the field was something that really made me go, okay, you know what? This is a bunch of pros. And I know that sounds silly because they're all professionals, but they don't always behave professionally. What you've watched the Padres do up until this point, up until today, this is this is a men's baseball club. It doesn't appear to have any agendas. It doesn't appear to have any bickering. It doesn't appear to have any bickering. It doesn't appear to have any negativity surrounding it. It's just guys doing what guys are supposed to be doing. Period. Gavin Sheets becoming Mark McGwire when he gets into the Seattle air, I'll take it. Xander Bogaerts playing like he's back to being Red Sox Bogarts, I'll take it. Guys are the professionalism that is being exhibited on this team gets a massive tip of the cap. And that's why I wanted to sit here today and give y'all this, because I was thinking about this all weekend watching that series. These guys are just pros, man. They come in, they punch clock, they handle business, and they try to find ways to squeak out wins. Sweeping the Mariners heading into this series is very important. Being a half game back is very important for this team. I think it's important for this particular team, this iteration, this year, to show that professionalism tonight and for the next couple of days against the Dodgers. Again, the series, whether they win it or lose it, it has no added value because the Padres have showed that they can win in Los Angeles, and Los Angeles showed they can win in San Diego. The Padres have shown that they can beat the Dodgers in the playoffs, and obviously we know the Dodgers can beat the Padres in the playoffs. And so boiling that all together, it's just always good to get these two teams together because this creates a playoff atmosphere. It's playoff energy between these teams. And a couple of times throughout the year, you'll find in certain games, it has playoff energy. Those games are good for both teams as tools and tune-ups. So this is a good tune-up for both these teams who have playoff aspirations. Both teams have World Series aspirations and actually the ability to get there, providing the Padres can continue to give you good starting pitching. And with that, we'll see how it shakes out. We'll see what we get from the series, but I'm really looking forward to tonight. I'll probably be hopped up on meds, hopefully not, but I'll probably be hopped up on something watching this, and we'll see how it goes. I can't wait. I can't wait. I mean, I'm juiced about it. You may not be juiced about it, but I'm juiced about it because, I think this is a good tone setter. I think this is an opportunity for teams to involve themselves in the first real level playoff atmosphere of the year. And we'll see where it goes, man. We'll see where it goes. Also tonight, you got the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the San Antonio Spurs. As y'all know, I'm a hoop guy. And this Shai Gilgeous-Alexander winning the MVP, not a fan. Not a fan. For him, you got to understand, when guys start winning back-to-back MVPs, you get into a very rare space in the NBA. Kobe Bryant doesn't have back-to-back MVPs. Okay? There's certain players who have dominated eras in the NBA that don't have back-to-back MVPs. Because I don't think Shaquille O'Neal has a back-to-back MVP. NBA back-to-back MVPs. I don't think Shaquille O'Neal has back-to-back MVPs. I think it's a very exclusive club. Okay, here we go. These are all the back-to-back MVPs in NBA history. SGA, Joker, Giannis, Steph Curry, LeBron, Steve Nash, Tim Duncan, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Moses Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So, look, man, that's wild. That's wild that this guy has back-to-back MVPs, and I don't consider him the best player. So if you mean to tell me that he had a better year than Wemby did this year, that's comical to me. He's got another All-Star on his team, so that provides the record. They've got the best roster in the NBA, and the team was good without him. Not great, but the team was good without him. Victor Wembanyama, and I know people say, well, if you give it to him now, then what happens? If you got to give him 5 straight, then give him 5 straight. He's the best defensive player in the game. By the way, 1 defensive player of the year. And he is the most important offensive player on his team. Without him, their game is completely different. He's a threat from everywhere on the court offensively. You cannot say that about Shea. And then, because basketball has two sides, he is the most dominant player in the league on the defensive end. There's literally nothing you can do about him on the defensive end. And this is the part about the MVP that really burns me up. Either defense still counts or it doesn't. Either defense is still important to basketball or it's not. Because if he's the defensive player of the year and his team is second place in the Western Conference behind the Oklahoma City Thunder, behind Shea's team, and he's also scoring I think it's less points than Shea, obviously, but the basketball game was designed to be both sides of the ball. Both sides of the ball are important. That's what makes basketball one of the more unique sports, which requires the more athleticism than football, because you can play both sides, but you probably won't be effective. Look at what's happening with Travis Hunter. You can play both sides in baseball. Ohtani is fantastic at it, but he can't do them both in the same game all week, every game, because that's not how the sport works. So basketball, genuinely, I mean, you could do it in soccer, but how many guys you know as effective in soccer as Wemby? Like, that would be like the goalie stopping every shot damn near and then going down and scoring from the center field line. Nobody has that. That person would have to be the Ohtani of soccer. It doesn't exist. So this idea that you're giving Shea the award, even though Wemby's a better defensive player and an equally as good offensive player, his offense just is asked differently from the Spurs. Where is Shea defensively? And don't give me these stupid-ass statistics about, oh, this percentage of us and this, blah, blah, blah. Bro, can he get stops? When you cross the half-court line on offense against the Oklahoma City Thunder defense, do you go, okay, where is Shea? You don't. Whenever you inbound the ball against the Spurs and they're on defense, you go, where is Wemby? Because you got to. So to me, that's the MVP. His impact on both sides of the ball require your attention as an offense and a defense the entire game. Nobody impacts the game from end to end like Victor Wembanyama. And the fact that he statistically put up numbers on both sides of the ball and wasn't awarded the MVP is part of the problem with the MVP. Most of these people don't watch the games. The people on the East Coast don't watch the people on the West Coast. People on the West Coast don't watch the people on the East Coast. They just look at the highlights. And if you're just looking at statistics, cool, yeah, you can give it to Shea because people don't look at defense anymore. Victor Wembanyama gets the Defensive Player of the Year award because you know he's the best defensive player, but you don't dive into his offensive statistics. But because Shea is all offense and he can get you 30 points a game, okay, let's give him the MVP. I disagree with that. I 100% disagree with that. I think you're doing a game a disservice by awarding him the MVP, but that's just that's the way I look at basketball. I think defense is as important as offense in basketball. In addition to that, you cannot win the championship without playing defense. You can get as many buckets as you want, but if you can't get stops, it's this last man with the ball. Because Victor Wembanyama is on the court, the Spurs can get a stop against any team. Okay? Because the presence of Victor Wembanyama, the Spurs can get a stop against anybody. You cannot say that about Oklahoma City. Their defense is a unit. And Shea is not the leader of that unit, actually. I think Jamal Williams is. Jalen Williams. They got two Williams. Jalen Williams, Alex Caruso, Wallace. They got a lot of good defensive players. Chet Holmgren. They got a lot of good guys on the defensive end, and they play as a unit. If you take Wemby out of that unit does not run the same. If you take Shea out of that unit runs the same. So it just doesn't even out. It doesn't even out. I thought Wemby should have been the MVP. I think because he's not the MVP, I think a reckoning is coming for Chet Holmgren. I think Pochette Holmgren about to get the business. I think tonight and for the rest of this series, you about to see 30-point Wemby, 5-block Wemby. Okay, 10 rebound Wemby. You about to see the best Wemby has to offer. Because I think tonight, what I have learned about Wemby is he will take this as a slight. He thinks he deserves to be MVP. He'll probably say he respects that Shea got it, but there's no better way to prove that you're the MVP than playing the MVP. So we'll see. Good game tonight. All right, I got to run. I got to hit this dentist. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Peace. Enjoy the game tonight.